There's a button I have not clicked today. Something, I don't know. We'll see.
Good morning, Nicholas.
Good morning, Matt. How are you doing?
Nice to see you. Happy
Yeah.
Friday.
Happy Friday. We were supposed to have a wonderful guest with us, but the guest was in California and maybe that person overslept.
They
That's the
could.
beauty live streaming.
Yeah, the show must go on.
Show must go on. Show must go on. And you all wear dress. I love that. All
I
right.
am. I am. Big show
Why?
today.
Oh, a big show. There's so much news, right?
It
All
was
right.
crazy. I joke about it every week, but truly there was groundbreaking news that happened just in the last 3 or 4 days.
All right, just a small teaser to everyone that before we go into the intro, we're going to be speaking about automobile QVC result for the last year. We're going to be about social wars and then a new baking show. And here we go. All right, everybody, this is Nico with eStreamly, the company that gets you live stream and video commerce on your site, social media, email, SMS, wherever you are, your video is shoppable. I'm so excited again to be here with my great friend Matt from E6 Marketing, the company that gets you on QVC and HSN. Again, we've got a full stack of news this week. And, we always say so much happened, but honestly, Matt, you and I, we were chatting and like, a lot has happened this week. So super excited. Before we go there, Matt, why don't you tell us very briefly what the show is about?
Thank you, Nicholas. And thank you, everyone, for tuning in. This is called the VCommerce Podcast. We're here every weekday, every Friday morning at 11 a.m. Eastern. What is the VCommerce Podcast? It's our own little podcast that talks about video commerce. Started with DRTV, graduated to QVC and HSN that have been doing it for 40 some years, 24/7 live selling, and now live streaming, live selling, social selling, whichever way you want to put it, is everywhere and anywhere on your phone, on your app, on your computer, on your tablet. So Nicholas and I work in this platform. There's a lot that goes on consistently, usually all around, honestly, the Amazon stories and the TikTok stories, but there's so many different things to talk about today. And Nicholas, you mentioned automobiles.
What's going on?
Buying and selling cars, Nicholas, is like in the US, it's like one of the most pain point dynamics that I think there is in the world. Like buying a car, it depreciates as soon as you drive it off the lot. It's something that is a necessity. It's a necessary evil with cars. You can have a nice car or a not so nice car. It gets you to and from places. But now the social commerce dynamic is really jumping with both feet, and we got news this week.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, so I think why don't we just start to dive in, right? So obviously we know that live stream auction have been not live stream, just auction in general with car has been a thing, right? It's not something that is new, and that has been going on. There are companies that have been experimenting with live stream show, and especially for like a special type of car and everything. But the news this week, Matt, from what I'm hearing, is it sounds like TikTok, eBay's pretty much kind of a bunch of people getting into space, right?
It's all in the last couple of months. So December of 24, Amazon launched Amazon Autos. In January of this year, just a month ago, eBay acquired Caramel, which is a platform for private sellers and dealers to sell cars. And now just the other day, I read about TikTok, who has created a custom ad solution to help buyers and sellers purchase cars. So there's obviously a billion-dollar industry, multi-billion-dollar international industry with automobiles. In the US, automobiles is a big thing. And now social selling is getting involved. I've known about the social networks getting into the car world since Facebook Marketplace started doing it a few years ago. So it's not brand new to, I guess, the social platform. But the fact that TikTok's doing it, eBay has done it a little bit, Amazon's now getting involved. What isn't Amazon involved with? It just shows the power of where social commerce is going. They're selling, talk about price points. This is at $19.95, $19.95. This is 10, 20, 30, 40 up $1,000 purchase. It's
Yeah.
a serious consideration, and they're doing it through social apps.
Yeah, and that's super interesting, right? If you think about Carvana, they've been really successful. I bought my 2 last car in Carvana. Great solution. I really had a good time. But yeah, just interesting that whole industry moving online and all those players getting there, and then some of them doing through social commerce, some through traditional channels, but super interesting. The other news of the week, in my view, Matt, and I know you're more tuned into that, but it's the QVC result. And you and I, we were talking about that couple weeks ago when QVC actually mentioned about closing one of their facility, closing the main head office for HSN, which was in Florida, and regrouping everything back to Pennsylvania, which is the headquarters, where the headquarters are. But if you look at the results are not that great, unfortunately. And if you think about QVC, what they're saying, like Curate, they renamed themselves the QVC Group. Well, there's something there, but decrease of revenue by 6% in Q4. So, you and I were talking about Q4, and then like it's been a strong month, and we've seen sales year over year in retail growing. But it was not the case for QVC, unfortunately, and 5% on the full year. So sounds like they really got a toll with Q4 being so weak. But Matt, I know you have more insight. You've listened to the whole earning call. Curious to hear your thought. Like, so what is happening? Why is this going down? Is it really purely the user not watching TV anymore?
Well, I'll say this. This has been a trend. This isn't a brand new trend. QVC HSN has lost market value over the last few years. They continue to say cord cutting is the problem. So their customer is a baby boomer. She female, 50 to 75 years old, and people are cutting the cable cord. They used to have a marketing campaign that was called Go Low. And the Go Low marketing campaign 25 years ago was put QVC and HSN on the lower numbers of your cable box, so we'll get more viewership that way. And it worked. It worked a lot. Even in 2025, QVC HSN, Curate has changed the name now. It's going to be traded under the Curate or the QVC Group, where QVC and HSN, along with other e-commerce sites, are under the QVC Group. They just reported their numbers, as you said, Nicholas, not that great. 8% decrease in Q4 for QXH, which is QVC and HSN combined, 6% for the full year. I'm honestly not that surprised by it. This is where I work, and this is the company that E6 Marketing works through. There are bright spots, and everything has bright spots, although they reported, and the home category is down 8%, beauty 9%, electronics 16%, and apparel up 2%. So apparel still going strong. I think electronics has suffered a lot because they just can't compete with the big box Amazon price points. But the big story, obviously, is HSN, who is older than QVC, maybe 45 years old or so. They've been down in St. Pete, Florida for that duration. They're moving up to Westchester, Pennsylvania, where QVC is located, and they're going to broadcast out of the same facility. This building is immense, as you can imagine, 5 city blocks wide, multiple studios. They probably have 35 plus different studios in the building. So HSN is going to occupy a couple. QVC is going to occupy a couple. They're going to work out of the same facility. All this goes down by Q3. So it was announced maybe a month ago. Everyone's trying to figure out, what does this mean? So I think, Florida's not around the corner. I think a lot of people from Florida might be losing their jobs. I think a lot of people from Westchester, Pennsylvania might be losing their jobs. They're going to need, but of course they're going to need the entire infrastructure to remain in place. All the planners and the buyers, obviously the hosts and the production team are going to remain the same. I think a lot of people will shift jobs and roles and responsibilities. Who will come up from Florida? Who will grow their responsibility in Westchester, maybe managing 2 different channels or multiple channels. QVC has 3 channels themselves. Everyone knows about the main channel.
I think now the strategy is really going social as well, right? So they are going to try to de-emphasize the TV. Obviously, they're not going to leave the TV because that's their primary business model, but they're saying and really making a push on social. And so it'd be interesting to see how this plays out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
they just completed a 3-year campaign called the Project Athens, which was basically to cut down debt. Now they just announced yesterday they're starting a new 3-year plan, announced past November, returning the business back to growth. And they point to social selling as being the primary function. As we've talked about on the show, QVC started on TikTok just in the either in August or September of 2024, just a few months ago. They're seeing great success with it. They do a lot of things on social selling. Their core customer is still the baby boomer. It's still the woman that's 50 plus years old. She's got disposable income. She knows what value means, and she can do impulse purchase shopping. So that customer is still their core, and I don't think they're going to stray away from there. But everything being depressed, everyone's margins going up, the competition through Facebook or through Amazon and Walmart and all the other big box retailers are getting tougher and tougher. And it's just a tough dynamic. It's a really tough dynamic. And some of the stories we're going to talk about later in the show, I think, a lot of these companies are throwing, a ball against the wall and hoping it sticks. None of this is proven. None of this social selling has a long-standing history like QVC and HSN for decades, 4+ decades. Their core customer is just getting older, and the cord cutting. People are just getting away from cable, which makes it harder for the customer to just find them as they did before.
Well, speaking of the bowl of pastas that you throw on the wall, the third story is around social wars, right? Social wars, Matt.
It's a great way to put it.
Has been, it feels like, honestly, so much going on. So the first snippet of news was related to Instagram that is apparently going to separate their reels, not separate, but they're going to create a standalone app to compete against TikTok that it's going to be based on reels. So they did per the past try to have a separate app for videos, but they were more going after the YouTube creators, so longer format. They had the creator, but they didn't have the video bank already, I will say, that they currently have with Instagram. And so that really did not took off. So now they have this huge mass, with the reels, they have the video, they have the content, they have the creator creating a split app. They did it so well with Fred. It worked so well for them. They know how to do it. They know what works, what doesn't. So they're trying to get and generate that new app just with video. I found it fascinating. The next thing that I found fascinating is, guess what? TikTok is going after someone, and it's not Instagram, it's YouTube. With YouTube, actually, TikTok has been deploying a new revamp of the homepage for desktop, with the intention to really compete better with YouTube and have better viewing experience and better search and all that on desktop, which is really going after the core of YouTube. Not the core, because last week we talked that YouTube is really now mostly watched through TV, but still desktop is certainly a place where people go and use quite a bit. Found it very funny. And then,
where's it go, Nicholas? Like
it's not even over. I have
throwing the ball against the wall is just one of 50 analogies I can come up with. Like, I want to be like TikTok. No, I want to be like YouTube. No, I want to be like Facebook. I want to be like Instagram. Like, they're all trying to capture this young, fickle consumer who doesn't have any consistency in their life in the first place.
Yeah,
I think it's fascinating. We've talked about it before, but like, I love YouTube on my computer, and my brothers and my family, other people that I know, watch YouTube on their phones or on their televisions.
Yeah, television.
I watch TikTok on my phone. I don't watch TikTok on my computer, and I certainly don't watch it on my TV. So now they're trying to like steal each other's mojo or whatever you call it. Bandwidth or product.
Yeah, it's all about customer attention, right?
Customer attention,
yeah. 80% of the whole internet is video. So when you are a video first company, you probably want to be growing your TAM and your market by going after where other people are doing and changing those behaviors. At the end of the day, YouTube is generating a lot of money to Google, right? So there's a lot of money to be taken there. But the last interesting story of this whole I would say social media war, and we have to be realistic. This whole thing started because of the TikTok ban, I think, and that really pushed a lot of motion. But the last one is LTK, that's going after Flip. So we know that when TikTok was actually banned, Flip was one of the very few apps that really took a strong position in the US market, specifically US market. They are doing the shoppable video, so the creator can go there and then you can scroll endless shoppable video. And so LTK is splitting out a new app as a standalone app that's going to be only about creator and video. They do have the creator, they do have the product, they do have the content. So that's exactly what Flip is doing. So just going after those guys, I mean, it's not written like by that, but that's how I read it personally.
Yeah.
So I found it so fascinating, right? So everyone is kind of trying to go after that video standalone solution where the creator is there, the commerce is there, and then obviously the content is there. Fascinating space we're going and happening right now.
Well, isn't it obvious that the reason why TikTok is so popular, because it's a mix of entertainment and social selling. Yeah. So it's 90% entertainment, 10% social selling. These other apps like Flip and whatnot and different things like that, all they do is selling. QVC and HSN, technically all they do is selling, although they try to entertain you. So the TikTok algorithm, to me, is running in first place. There's no doubt about it. Like, they have married the entertainment with the social selling, where the customer or the viewer tunes in. I'm really fascinated by these reels and like Instagram or Meta building a standalone app for reels.
And I think that's the right thing to do for them, because if you think about I'm pretty sure Meta probably has a really good idea how to do the For You page. I mean, they probably are pretty good at that, but the reality is Instagram was not built for a For You page specific kind of feed, right? It was built by I am engaging with my followers, and maybe some of the followers of my own friends may see some of my content. And so it's a very social through circles network, right? So you can't really, it could be like competing to have all of a sudden like a For You page in this kind of environment. And so splitting it out and having the content, the creator and all that. And I'm pretty sure they're going to have a really, really strong For You page. They have some of the best engineers out there in terms of AI. They have the technology. They have the know-how. I'm pretty sure they're going to create some really, really cool stuff. So
it's based off of long format video.
No. So it's short format video, right? It's the real.
But where are they getting the short formatted video?
Well, but they got all the reel banks, right? They have that the bank from all the reels they have already on Instagram.
That came from the long format videos. Well, I'm saying it originated with the long format, and then they broke them down into these reels, and that's what the consumer is tuning into. That quick reel, right?
I think the reality, Matt, I think is like people that are on Insta are creating specific content for Instagram, and it's not like long form that they're resplitting into short form. I think people on Instagram are really creating those short form compelling stories, a minute or 30 seconds, very much like TikTok, right? And typically in general, what I've seen, people will create a piece of content for TikTok and then put it on Instagram, or on Instagram for Instagram and then put it on TikTok. So the Reels is very much like a TikTok-like experience. I think it's just about like, how do you feed the user about that specific content? And right now with Instagram, the way it is like my friends are going to see more likely to see my content, where on TikTok, the power of TikTok is anyone that may like this content may see the content, right? So it's the For You page. And I think that's kind of by splitting it out, that's what
it is interesting. Like from the YouTube perspective, they pull it from long format videos. So if someone pulled a reel out of our show today and they wanted to hear just about Meta, they'd pull that little clip of us talking about Meta. If they want to hear about QVC's group, they'd pull that little, and then that gets 5-10 times more views than our long formatted show.
Yeah, absolutely.
I get that. Like there's an origin to it in some way. Now you're saying on other platforms like Instagram, they're building it for that quick minute and a half, 30-second view, and they're trying to get all the content into that very short formatted content. It's, to me, they're all trying to get to one another, learn from what one another are doing, and who's going to end up on top. It's this week. I don't know. This week really solidified to me, like, oh my God, this is the Wild West. These guys are throwing money at this younger consumer or this younger content, person, and they don't even know what they want. So they're just feeding them something that they think they want, but they're going to be onto something else in 6 months.
Yeah, but Matt, think about this. So we've been talking about what at the beginning of the show, QVC having some issue and downsizing, right, and having struggle. We've been talking about those social war, and now interesting dynamics. We've been talking about those creators, and we talk about Mr. Beast starting to enter the Amazon arena, and especially with the Beast game and all those longer form thing. But what is the news of this week that we just heard, where a creator did something kind of interesting, going after interesting network? What do you want to get?
Yeah, it's called the Bold Baking Network. It's a 24-hour brand new network through fast channels, through fast TV, that Gemma Stafford, who is a very famous international baker, has created a whole platform, a whole 24/7 network surrounding baking. So I think just last week, because we talked about as niche as you can go, there is an audience. So the niche of bigger, bolder baking is that baker. It's not the cooking network. It's not the food network. It's not games. It's talking specifically about baking and how many people are in love with the whole thing of baking. Gemma is a leader. She's an amazing on-air talent. She's got great big following on all of her social platforms, and they built this whole 24/7 network around Gemma. So I talked to the origins of this channel months ago. Kevin Kurtz is her wife, and Ron Pruitt is a guy that has worked in our space through QVC and Home Shopping, and they knew a year ago when they started this, or even more maybe 2 years ago, that there is an audience for baking. So finally, they've launched this 24-hour network. So they're going, just like everywhere else and anyone else, they're going to look for content creators and people that can create interesting video surrounding baking. So I think it's as niche as you could go. I think it works. The same time I talked to this guy, I talked to another guy that is creating that transportation channel, and it's the same kind of a thing.
What's interesting is you see in this case the fast channel, right? So it's creator going to TV, right, in a way, right? Because the fast channel is something you can access. You have a channel on your TV. So we're talking about TV going to social, social going to TV, short form going to long form, and then then algorithm that are focusing on your friend going broader. And then we're talking about creators and other solutions going after the commerce element of it. It sounds like, I don't know, maybe in I don't know, maybe in 3-4 years from now, we all have the same standardized product where everyone's doing the same thing. But I just found it so fascinating, right? Those dynamics going on right now. I don't know, it's super fascinating.
This channel, this bigger, bolder baking, like it to me, it's like your relaxed moment of the day. Like you watch a video of someone baking cookies, and it just slows down your whole day. It's calming. It's not like TikTok. It's not like Instagram and Facebook and everything we've talked about today. Like this is a whole different thing. This is like relax, sit down, listen to the ingredients. You could do this yourself. Watch how I do it. Very much an educational platform, but like great visuals. And it's going after a whole different mindset of who this audience is. You mentioned television. It's not on cable. It's on fast channels or fast. It's called fast channels. Yeah, so like internet, internet
Roku and all those, right?
Yeah, I mean, I that's fascinating all to itself, because it's a different mindset of like maybe women come home after a long day of work and watch someone bake a cake on this network and have a satisfaction out of knowing that they can do it, or just love watching this woman talk about baking.
Yeah. So it's like typically like the Food Network, but this will be the baking network, right? So
that's exactly what it is. It's just a smaller niche, which is it's not such a niche. It's a multi-million-dollar
category
thing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
All right. Well, it was another interesting week, Matt. We are here every Friday on LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, and we don't really care about the type of format or the type of social, so we're just there. So, and then obviously, if you're with us on Spotify, please feel free to comment or share any things that you want to say with us. I want us to do a special thanks to Dan, Antoinette, Mike, and Herbs that just say hi through the course of the show. So thanks for being here. And Matt, I guess I'll see you again next week.
Excellent. Have a great weekend, Nicholas.
All
See you
right.
soon.